Get in the zone. Share it with the world, make the vibe known. Subscribe to the beat, feel it in your phone. Catch the waves we throw, you ain't alone. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep the rhythm alive, we thrive. Hop on this digital ride. Let's multiply the vibe worldwide.
Test. Let me check my audio. All right. I think we're good. All right. I got an echo in the back here. All right. Oh, let me shrink that. Y'all don't need my big face all on the screen, right? All right. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Big ups to my gang at Tri Media, my brother DQ, my brother Logic, my brother Brass, and our sister I Am. Speaking of which, let me share some screens here to show our people some love, right? Let me share some screens. This is our sister's YouTube channel, I Am. It's on a spot live. Go over there, check out her content. A lot of useful content and information for our people as far as real estate, trending topics, finance. Definitely go over there, check her out. She's also our brother Logic's co-host on our channel, right? Let me share that channel, our own channel, so you can check our content out, some of our shows, right? Logic and I Am just had a show yesterday where they discussed, pull the tab up, black culture and how should black people deal with Trump in office, right? And the black culture aspect, working definitions of black culture, right? With a spotlight on jazz music. That was yesterday, so go check that out. Some of our other shows, FBA content, hip-hop content. Our partners over at Carnivorous Podcast, Chef and everybody over there, peace to them. So go check out our different platforms and our different shows, right? Got to show our partners and our supporters some love. Follow us on Instagram, right? Show you our Instagram page. This is our Instagram page. There we have content about fashion, technology, health issues, or health content, not health issues. We don't want anybody to have health issues, but health news and things that matter as far as your health, right? And wellness, extremely important, especially this time of year, right? Wintertime. I was sick last week, so I know how important that is. But this is our Instagram channel. Follow us on Instagram. Tri Media Innovations. Our Facebook. Go over to our Facebook page. Show you our Facebook. Yeah, we doing some shameless self-promotion right now. Right? That doesn't hurt. Here's our Facebook page. Our Facebook page, and actually our Instagram page also has gaming news and articles. So if you're into gaming, follow us on our Instagram page. Our Facebook page deals with business topics, political topics, sports. We have sports topics and content on our Facebook page. So follow us on our Facebook page, Tri-Media Innovations on Facebook. And these are some of the articles up there. Politics, sports, and business. But today we are here for ChatGPT. Get the page up. There we go. Episode number 5. Check out our prior episodes about ChatGPT for instructions on how to use it best, some best case uses, custom GPTs. That's a further dive into how ChatGPT works and how to create custom GPTs for different things, how to use other people's custom GPTs, where to find them, how to set up your own, and things like that. Those are on our other 4 episodes where we deal with topics like that. And I believe there's one on Notebook LM, other AI and other tech and ChatGPT based applications, right? So you can check out those episodes. But today we're going to look at some of the new features and maybe some of the not so new features that people may have overlooked and don't really use because they don't understand them, they don't recognize them, and they don't know where to find them in ChatGPT. So most people know what ChatGPT is. Most people use it. There are other ones, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude. They all work in similar fashions. So if you know how to work one, you know how to work them all, or you would be familiar with them all. I would suggest pay for at least one of them so you get all the benefits and features of it. Whether you pay for the Gemini version, whether you pay for the Claude version, whether you pay for the Perplexity AI, or whether you pay for ChatGPT. I choose ChatGPT. They were the first ones out. They had a lot of backing from Microsoft early on, an investment from Microsoft. So I knew, it kind of was going to go somewhere, and they were going to be at the forefront. So my preferred paid version of an AI would be OpenAI, but that's up to your own preference and discretion, right? Which one you would pay for. But any one that you pay for, you get more features. You get better access. The free versions are also good for general everyday use. But I would suggest just pay for one. You could always cancel and just try out the extra features. So today we're going to look at this is a paid version. So some of these uses may be available on the free one. Some may not be. But I have a paid version, so that's what we're going to look at. And these tech shows and my interest in technology goes back to Black history and our Black inventors and creators. I have a book here, Pride of African American History. And this book basically is about our inventors, our physicians, our scientists, and our engineers, right? So it's extremely important, not that only we understand our history and our place in it, but something as that changes as fast as technology, that it's important that we understand it, the positive sides of it and the negative sides of it, right? So this is a good book. This book literally has the patents of African American inventors, physicians, scientists, and engineers. There's, let's see, more than 1,100 African American inventions verified with patent numbers in this book. So let's see what we have. Dr. Percy Levon Julian contributed to the relief of pain and suffering worldwide with, I'm not even going to try to say some of these big medical words, but it has our inventors, their names, brief background, and it has the actual patent numbers and dates. Again, this is a good resource. You may can find a PDF version online that you can keep in your phone or on your computer. But again, my interest in tech um, obviously stems from our history and interest in technology. We were creators and inventors and scientists and engineers, and that's documented in a book like this. There are other books, but I found this one particularly interesting because it is set up in a nice fashion where you have the patent numbers. I believe they have the dates and a description of the invention and or patent, right? Or improvement. So again, our people, it's extremely important, right? That we know throughout technological and industrial advances, our people were involved. Black Americans, African Americans. Donnie, what's up? I am our sister. What is up? So back to ChatGPT, right? I just wanted to give people some background of my interests, not just in music and tech. And uh, the the interest in music and technology leads to more interest in invention, creation, and innovation. So the newest innovation everybody is aware of is AI. Last year, as people became more aware of it, the companies always plan forward, right? What is their next step? This year, I believe it's going to be automation and agents. AI agents are simply bots that you can send out to complete different tasks for you. So it's part automation, but it's part a specified duty and task that these agents that they're called will complete on their own. May be good for some people's industry, may be detrimental to other people's industry, but it always helps to understand the technology and at least be aware of it. So this year, I believe, and next year, you have more enterprise versions where these companies target corporations, and corporations use this technology and implement it. That's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect their jobs. It's going to affect products. It's going to require new laws and new education. So it's definitely going to change what we've been doing and how we've been doing it. So it's good to know about these things on a personal level, and even environmental impacts. The use of technology, something like AI, is going to have an adverse effect on our environment. So we use these tools to understand and better ourselves, but at the same time, we have to understand the impact on our environment. Like most inventions in new technology, that part gets left out. They don't want you to know that part. But the use of any electronics is takes a toll on our environment through the use of electricity, fossil fuels, our atmosphere, ozone layer, heating up the atmosphere. Um, any computer use generates a lot of heat, but just keep that in mind. Anything we use for positive, we have to consider the negative impact. A lot of the elements that go into these electronics impact people all over the world, where they mine these uh, elements at, where they produce some of these electronics at. So let's keep that in mind, right? People and environment, there is an effect. So we try to use these things uh, with consideration in that. Maybe we can use these tools to better some of those systems. It's the equivalent of going in the forest, chopping down a tree to build your house and use the wood for other products and not going back to replant that tree. That's a negative effect on the environment and the ecosystem, right? Which eventually affects us as humans. So that's just something that we keep in mind. We want to be thoughtful and considerate. So, ChatGPT. Some of the basic functions that were added, well, not basic, they were added, um, but they have become a part of the basic setup of ChatGPT that most people I see when they use it. Some of this stuff is right on the screen, but they may not realize it or what it is. So we're going to explain some of the things today. So if you look in our prompt area, I'm just making sure you see what I see. 1 second. All right, you see my mouse, so we're good, right? Make sure I got our ticker going. Like the video, share the video. It's going to be informative. It's really not a content show about a back and forth. It's just some instruction. I'm here to learn as much as I am here to share my knowledge and information, right? As I find it, I'm here to share if I'm able to help people, right? So our basic prompt area, this is our ChatGPT window. Why is my screen not moving? And here in our prompt area, we have this globe. This is our internet connection. Prior to this, ChatGPT would not retrieve this information from the internet. The information that was regurgitated was from pre-trained models. That information was already stored. Now we have access to the internet, where if we want to prompt our AI to get us some information, we can have it search the web, right? We highlight that. I believe it's best to highlight it before you do your prompt rather than after, and it will give you links. So we can say top 5 issues in 2025, right? And it's going to not only use its language model, the data it has stored, but it's also going to search the internet, and it should give us some links also. All right. So we have our top 5 issues of 2025, and we have a link, state-based armed conflicts, and that's from the World Economic Forum. That's your link, AP News, World Economic Forum, The Sun, and News. I don't know what that is. News, I never heard of. It's probably just a news website. And we click on our sources button here at the bottom, and it will list our sources over here on the right and other sources. So that is our search function that links our AI to the internet now. That was an issue before. People wanted links, people wanted sources. So now we have that ability, but you have to highlight that in your prompt area. DALL-E is the text to image generator. That was a separate application, or AI if you would. Now that's incorporated. So you can use your text to image generation right here in ChatGPT. And that is in our toolbox down here. Our canvas function, let me make sure you see that. Yes, you do. So we have our search function, our text to image generator now, that's available in our prompt area, and our canvas function. I believe that I haven't used the canvas function, but I believe it assists you in writing. Let's try it. Let's get to write a blog about the above, right? And the difference between a regular search engine, and this is basic, but a lot of people forget it. These are conversational tools. You don't have to be formal. You can even misspell some things. I don't encourage people to misspell, but it's a conversational tool, so you can treat it in a conversational manner. So I'm just going to tell it to write a blog about the above. I don't need to be any more specific for what I'm trying to do than that. Let me close our citations window. So here's our learn more about. Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong button. Let's go back. Close that out. So it's basically going to interact with its writing or your writing on the left. The blog has been written and is ready for review or further editing. Let me know if you need any adjustments. So it gives you kind of a side-by-side. I believe that's why they call it a canvas. It gives you a bigger window and a bigger canvas to work with. So you have your content and you'll have your discussion over here on the left. Attachments. Let me go back to a plain screen. The attachment function, right? You can attach screenshots. You can attach Word documents. You can attach regular photographs and pictures. I believe you can attach slides, PDFs, and it will read that, or it will attempt to read that, or even look at an image. You could take a picture of something, attach it, and have your discussion based around that, or get help based on the picture. It will analyze the picture. So we have an attachment function now in our prompt area. We have other tools, our canvas, that gives us a broader workspace to interact with. We have our internet search function that will give us our sources and even give us some links and list them in our citations panel. And we have our text to image generator, DALL-E. It's probably DALL-E 3. I think they're using DALL-E 3 now. 3 is just a version, right? So that's all in our prompt area now. So when we're using our prompt area, do not forget about our tools down here. So it's just a basic little toolbox that is included that you don't have to look for, right? There's one more here, reason. I believe the reason version is more in-depth and analytical response to your prompt or your query. It doesn't just give you the general feedback. It actually, I believe, analyzes its first response and then goes back and tries to be a little bit more analytical about that before it gives you your response. So the reason, which is our, reason, it uses O1. O1 is a version of the different models, right? And that you have available. Some of these you have to pay for, or they come with the paid version. Some of them are with the free version. But O1 uses advanced reasoning. So if you see that down here in our toolkit, O1, you highlight that, you'll see it pop up in our prompt area, right? Reason. It's going to give you a more analytical and advanced reasoning result. Somebody would say, well, that should be for everything. No, if I'm being creative, I don't want it to be super analytical. You know, if I'm doing something that's, you know, maybe I'm writing a short story, or I want it to be more creative with its responses. I don't want it over analyzing something. I want it to be creative. So that's not for use in every prompt, right? So I can see how people say, oh, we should use that all the time. No, not on a creation scale. You don't want to be super analytical when you're trying to be creative, right? Brass, what up? So those are some of the tools right in our prompt area. Let me close that. When we're using ChatGPT. Our internet, our toolbox, and our attachment function. So you may have something that's already written that you don't feel like typing in here for your prompt. You can screenshot it and just drop it in here, right? And it should recognize it. Let's find a picture online just to demonstrate. Let me just get an image of something. Hip hop, right? I'm going to take this image right here. Let me see. And we're going to see if it can analyze our image just in real time, right? So I'm going to attach an image. And you can upload it or you can drag and drop it. I'm going to drag. I'm not going to upload it. Let's drag it right in there. All right. So this image, I don't know if you can see it. It's basically a picture of a bunch of rappers, right? I'm going to ask it, what is this? Just to see if it recognizes it. I cannot type, so bear with me. All right. This is an image I just grabbed off the internet. I attached it, you know, using our attachment function, whether you upload it or you drag and drop the image or file or whatever into this area. And I asked it, what is this? And it said, it appears to be a collage featuring multiple hip hop and rap artists, likely celebrating the genre's history and impact. Black and white composition. They seem to be iconic figures. Let me know if you need help identifying. So let's see if it can identify the people in this picture. Who is in, right, in the picture? Since ChatGPT want to be a smartass, right? Oh, let's see. It says I could not identify specific individuals because it doesn't have the ability, whatever, to confirm or whatever. Let's see. Um, it says it could range from Tupac, Notorious Big. I bet you if I, narrowed it down to maybe 3 or 4 people in the picture, it may be able to recognize it. But the demonstration was to show using our attach function, taking an image, we can work with that. And again, a spreadsheet, a Word document. You can have a spreadsheet. If you need help with a spreadsheet, you can drag and drop your spreadsheet in here. You can upload your spreadsheet and you can work with it. But with any technology on the internet, be careful of inputting your personal information. Keep privacy and security in mind. Be careful what you click on. Be careful what you download. Be careful what you upload. So if you had a document that you wanted to work with that had your personal information, you can substitute that information with random information or synthetic information, which is basically BS. You just want to be careful, but it will treat the information the same if you have questions about it. So if you are filling out an application, leave your personal information out. You can upload the application and have it help you out with a description. People have trouble with job descriptions sometimes, explaining what they used to do and how something that they used to do can be relevant to their new position. So you can upload it, have it look at the application, give it some of your background without personal details, and let it give you, help you out in that manner. So the attach function down here in our prompt area, extremely important and helpful. And it will let you attach all type of different media. Like I said, from PDFs to images, screenshots, pictures, PNGs, JPEGs, things like that, right? So that is it for our new tools or the new tool section here in ChatGPT in our prompt area. Attach, our toolbox, and our internet search, which should be helpful to most people. But that has to be checked, I would think, before you prompt. So I would turn that on. I would turn any of these on before you prompt, right? So we'll turn that off. All right, let's pull our window open over here on the side, our sidebar. If you want to look at your prior chats, anytime you have a new topic, we went over this, last year. This should be common for people also. Some people think ChatGPT is the end all be all. ChatGPT is a tool, right? It's a tool. No tool does everything. And a tool could be used to be helpful or it can be used to be harmful, right? And if we operate the tool the way it's meant to be operated, you get the most benefit out of it, right? I remember growing up, a single mom. We didn't have a toolbox. Mom didn't have no toolbox. You know what a screwdriver was, right? Butter knife. I think we had a hammer, pair of pliers, and maybe some screwdriver, like 1 or 2 screwdrivers, right? So we were using them improperly or using improper tools for certain things because we didn't have all the tools. So I would use it in that analogy, right? And people didn't understand how ChatGPT worked, right? They didn't understand it was a conversational tool. They didn't understand it's not a search engine like Google, like when it first came out. They didn't understand it only operated on what was input into it. So I expect people to use it properly, and I expect people to use it improperly, because of lack of understanding. But that's why I'm here, to help out where and when I can. So another feature in ChatGPT. These are custom GPTs on the left, right? These are GPTs, like I was saying before, your previous conversations. Anytime you want to start a new uh, search or query or a new project or anything in ChatGPT, start a new window. Don't keep just building on something you are doing, because now if you ever have to go back and look at that, add to it, get information out of it, try to um, build on something that you were working on. It stores it. So I can go back to something I was doing yesterday, the previous 7 days, operating system issues, and build on that, right? This is computer stuff. But it remembers our conversation, it stores them. So I can go back and build on something that I was working on and retrieve the information that I had already. I don't have to keep redoing it, right? Google doesn't do that. So this is where your older conversations would be over here on the left. New topic, start a new conversation or a new window, right? You can also delete them. Like I don't have a use for this hip hop one, right? Delete that. But that's over here on the left, your prior conversation. Also on the left are any custom GPTs that you used. Custom GPTs, a lot of these over here are mine that I created, and some of them are GPTs that other people created. So ChatGPT, although it is fairly a broad field and it generalizes, you can get custom GPTs based on specific topics, right? This is one I created called Bio Brush Up. Helps people with their bios, right? If you're applying for a job, if you're um, anything that requires your bio, your website, any information that you want to add, the Bio Brush Up tool, right, will help people. If you need one for social media, if you need one for your blog, as an artist, when you put out your work, you want a biography about yourself. This one assists artists in creating, it says artists, I think that was something I put in there, in creating and refining impactful biographies. So instead of using general chat GPT that uses broad knowledge, right? We can use specific GPTs, which are called custom GPTs, right? That saves us the trouble of trying to narrow down our prompts or be super specific, because this GPT is already set up to deal with biographies. I don't have to, hey, this is a biography. It's about this. This is what I'm trying to do. No, it's already pre-set up and predisposed to answer this information, right? Or any prompt that I have. I asked GPT if my girlfriend was cheating. ChatGPT replied was, "What you think?" Should have said, "Well, you know the answer to that." No. Custom GPTs don't have all the functionality of the regular GPT. You see, only thing down here they have is the attachment function. You can only attach something. So I can attach my biography, a current one I have, a bio. I can attach a screenshot of someone else's biography and say, I like how theirs is written. Can you write mine like that? And put my basic information and let it go to work. We don't need to go through the examples. You guys understand what I mean, right? So these are, anytime you use a custom GPT, it gets stored over here on the left. And I'll show you why that's important in a minute. How do you find custom GPTs? Lenny, where are they at? Explore GPTs. If you only use one or two, it would be one or two. You see, I got a bunch of them over here. I'm always messing with something, right? But this feature over here, Explore GPTs. That's where you find your custom GPTs. Up in the right-hand corner, you can create them. I went through that process in one of my prior videos. All you have to look up in our on our YouTube is Chat GPTs and such. It's the same title as this show, right? You can create your own. I have mine here, the ones that I created, right? Or we can search custom GPTs that other people created. It could be legal. Let's go down here. Writing, productivity, research and analysis, education, lifestyle, or programming. These are like the topics that they put your GPT in, or that when you create it, you tell it, I want it to be in education, under that tab. But under the different tabs, it'll show you different custom GPTs. So this is where you will find them. If you're doing some writing and you don't want to be general using the plain chat GPT, go get you a custom one. I don't know if the custom ones are available to the free version. Somebody with the free version will have to look at that. I don't know if that's something they added. So again, if it's not, that would be a benefit of having a paid version of ChatGPT or any of the other AIs, right? So here's where you would get your custom GPTs at, based on, like I said, education, lifestyle, or you can search. If you were doing auto repair, I don't know, just see if they have one on auto repair. Okay, these are ones that popped up. Oh, I didn't put auto. Let's put repair. I'm sorry. Because auto can mean a whole lot of stuff. Let's see if they have any on auto repair. Nope. Automobile. Let's try it. Nope. Nobody made a GPT on how to work on your car. But astrology, song maker, Python, anybody's into coding, Copilot, SQL, that's all computer stuff. Tutors, if you need a tutor. Science and scholarship, right? Consensus, Scholar GPT, SciSpace, Scholar AI, summarizers, Wolfram, I believe that's math, web browser. I can browse the web to help you find relevant and accurate information. Marketing, stock research, Excel, if you use a lot of spreadsheets. Instead of using the general GPT, you can go find a custom GPT that deals specifically. Let's look at this one. What does it do? The world's most powerful data analyst assistant. Regular people can make these custom GPTs, and corporations make them. So Canva had, oh, there it is right there. Look, I spoke it up. Oh man, let me get, oh, there's an automobile. Hold on, there we go. Automobile tester assistant. I don't know. The expert automobile, that's French. Just different topics, right? Let's get rid of that. Canva has one, right? Everybody knows what Canva is. Media creation tool. So they have custom GPTs. So not only do people like you and me have custom GPTs or make our own, the companies have them, right? They're going to get their hands in there, right? They're not going to let you have all the fun. So we have our custom GPTs, right? And to get back to your main window, you just go up here on the top left, new chat. Another feature that I don't believe it's new, but most people don't use. Your custom GPTs, once they're stored on the left, if you want to, instead of me scrolling over here, trying to find the one I just used or blah, 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 I can just hit the @ right? Just like you. I had the wrong screen. My bad. I did that. I'm sorry, y'all. Wrong button. My bad. You go down here and you would hit. Make sure I got it right this time. Ah, crap. This is a Windows keyboard. I'm sorry, y'all. The @ function, right? The @ is going to open up. Oh, not TM. Let's go back. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I hate this keyboard. It's going to show the GPTs that we've used already. So if I was doing presentations, right? Just like you would put @ in front of someone's name. If I'm trying to reach IM or Brass or DQ, I will put @ and then, the name. If I put @ the @ symbol over here is going to show. Go ahead, IM. You could type your wild question. But our @ is going to show our GPTs that we use and that are stored over here on the left. So if I was doing a presentation and I use the presentation custom GPT, right? Because I use it, it's going to store it on the left. I want to pull that back up. I hit the @ start with a P, and there's my presentation right down here. or promo. So I can find my current or most recent GPTs using the at function. It's basically like a mention function, at shortcut to searching. So the at function pulls up our most recent custom GPTs. And I'm repeating these words so we get used to hearing them. Custom GPTs. That's a thing, right? Functions, that's a thing. Toolbox, that's a thing. Web search, we all know, that's a thing. Attachments, types of attachments, those are all things that if we remember when we are using any of the technology, it helps us use them better and for them to be more productive for us. Right? So again, we have our custom GPTs on the left. We have an updated prompt area. So let's go look at something that I did. A lot of flat earth information on it on the internet back and forth, right? Flat earth discussions, arguments, whatever you want to call them. So I did something flat earth, right? To me, one of the easiest ways to I'm not talking about combat flat earth people because it's really not worth it. That's like elementary, junior high science, right? So there's most of the people on the internet, it's just for content clicks, buzzwords and trigger words, right? But gravity is one of the things we could use to understand how our Earth works and how round planets work, not flat, right? 10 ways the Earth's gravity and mass. Mass is something else. Mass is what generates, not the proper word. I would say causes. Mass causes gravity. People were talking about water. Why doesn't the water fly off of the planet? Right? Why doesn't the water fly off of the planet if the planet wasn't flat? The mass of the earth. No, let's do it like this. The mass of water on the earth is like 0.02% of the earth's mass. Less than 1%. Less than 0.5%. It's like 1/5 of 1/10 of a percent. That's how much water is on the planet, or that's how much mass water takes up on the planet. So the Earth's mass obviously is much greater than that. And since mass is what causes gravity, the greater mass has the greater gravity. That's what holds the damn water to the planet. And if I could show you a picture, which one day I'll pull up, it's super easy. If you look at the Earth's crust and layers, people think the oceans are deep. But in comparison to the size of the Earth, it's about that much water around the perimeter of the Earth. Literally that much. You can barely see it. If you slice the Earth in half and turned it sideways, the oceans would be that much of that sphere as you go down through the different layers of the Earth. So the water really is not, it's not as much water as we think it is, right? Only relative to our size as humans, not relative to the size of the planet. Long story short, I asked it 10 ways the Earth's gravity and mass affect us. And to me, it's important. Keeps you on the ground. And this is ChatGPT, and I'm doing this for a reason, right? We're going to do some things with this information, right? Shapes the planet. It's round because it's pulling everything to the center. The mass pulls everything to the center. That's why planets are round for the most part. The mass, most of the mass is in the center of the planet, pulls everything towards the center. That's why they're round. Easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. Gravity holds the gases close to the Earth so we can breathe. Oxygen. I will get to your question in 8 seconds. It maintains the atmosphere. The moon's gravity is what causes the tide in the ocean. Right? Low tide, high tide. That's based on the moon's gravity. That's something you can see. It enables us enables walking and movement. Gravity gives us weight, making walking, running, and other activities possible. Right? That's why if you take an airplane up high enough, you'll float. If they shoot that airplane down, you're going against gravity. So you're going up. You're going to float, right? Temporarily. In space, there's no gravity. Well, not much. But gravity is what holds you on the planet, right? Allows you to walk. Regulates biological processes, circulation, body fluids. The moon, we already talked about that. The weather. Compresses geological layer and supports ecosystems. Remember the layers of the earth that I was saying, how gravity pulls everything to the center and less massive objects don't have that gravitational pull. All right, let's go down. So, using one of the custom GPTs, I asked it to create some slides. Which GPT? I think it was a slide creator, right? And we're just going to presentation and slide creator. It gave me an outline. All I wrote was create some slides explaining the information above. How I did that was I pulled up a GPT that I used before, a custom. I highlighted it, presentation and slide. Then I wrote my prompt, create some slides explaining the information above. That's simple, conversational. It created the slides. It has some issues connecting to this website to create the slides, so I didn't give up. I waited a little while. Okay, then I'm going to answer IAM's question, I promise. Then I'm going to run a commercial after that, right? So it created slides from the information that it generated. There's one slide. There's two slides right there. I can view the slide or download the presentation. When you click download, I will switch the window so you can see the website. Oh, it went away. My bad. But we'll view it, right? Go back to GPT. But it created these slides. Let's look at the slides first. 4 slides, I believe. Let's go to the presentation, which basically takes you to another website where the slides are located. I'm going to change windows just so you can see it. Give me 1 second, right? Present. So once my slides are created, that's a window, my bad. That is not a, open the window up. That would help, right? All right. So we're going to open our window up. That's not the window I want. Hold on, I'm looking for my slides that it created. That's in another window. Why is it not giving me my window? All right, give me a second, y'all. I was looking for the, you know what? I'll share the whole screen just so you can see what I see, right? Entire screen. Share. I'm show you the window where the slides are. Oh, no wonder I was in the ChatGPT window. So we don't have to do that. I'm going to show you the slides that it created. Let's go back. No need. There we go, right there. So the slides were created in ChatGPT. Because that custom GPT is connected to an outside website. Remember, I said companies create custom GPTs also. So for it to create them slides for you, it created them in custom GPT, but it had to reach or contact its own website to create the slides. And this is the website with the slides on it. You can download them from ChatGPT or you can go to the website, right? How planets, and this one was, I think the query was, explain why planets closer to the sun are rocky and planets further from the sun are more gaseous. So it created some slides. It wasn't the gravity one, but this was another prompt that I had, right? Rocky planets. And it created the slides, and it gives you some commentary, right, at the bottom. So based on information from ChatGPT, I was able to create a basic slideshow based on how planets are formed closer to the sun and further to the sun. Rockier closer to the sun, gaseous further from the sun. It's a gravity thing, y'all. Trust me. All right, let me go back to my ChatGPT screen. Then we're going to answer. So, the purpose of that was to show some of our functions, right? Our at mention function. Oh, let me share. My bad. Go back. We did a few things in there that we just wanted to demonstrate, right? Go back to our window. We did a few things in there, right? One, we used a custom GPT. Two, we created slides. And three, we went to the website where the slides are. So we not only have the information, right, that is on the slides. You could take that and put that in a Word document, right? We also have the actual slides. So all in ChatGPT. We use a custom GPT. We created the content for the slides, and we created the actual slides. So that's important. Let me make sure, and then I'm sorry, I just had to get through this so I didn't lose my place. Take notes, people. I have notes written so I don't forget anything. Right? And we also used our mentions function, right? Our at, to pull up the custom GPT without having to search for it because I used that prior. So that's going to be in our list over here. Look at that right there. And if you know the name of your GPT, as you start typing, your GPT will show up. So, I am's question. For creative projects, does the use of AI change the ownership or rights to completed work? Last year, they were in court for that. In a nutshell, without getting like super nerdy, the models where the AIs, the chatbots, get their information from was trained on internet data, open, free internet data, right? So if an artist had their image on the internet openly and freely, it's a good chance that that art was used in a training process. If the music that you have, because they have text to song generation, right? That's called multimodal. We're going to learn these words. Multimodal. What does that mean? Different modes. Text to speech, text to image, text to audio, image to text. Those are different modes, multimodal. So if a person had their music on the open internet, newspaper articles, I think the newspapers was some of the first people to try to sue them, saying you took an article and you put it in your database without citation, right? But if it was an open newspaper article or something that was freely on the internet for like free use, it was trained on it. So they had an issue with that. I don't think that worked out in court so far as ownership. Another stipulation would be every generation that was created, right? Text to image, every generation of that image. So if I wrote, make an image of a dog riding a bicycle, just that. If I wrote that 10 times, I should get 10 different images. I should never get the exact same image. So the argument was these images are new creations. They're not duplicates. They're not replicas. That's an image. Now, as far as content and text, that may be something different. If you ask it something about a book and it quotes that book without citing that book, authors may have a problem with that. But I think the back and forth in court was mainly what the information was trained on, public information, private information. Did they pay the people? No. People want money, like you said, ownership and rights. If you have the right to something, you should be compensated if someone uses your work or reproduces it, right? But because it wasn't in actual use when an image or a text was generated, it wasn't word for word or picture for picture or song for song or note for note if it was text to music, right? That it was a new creation. That's in court. I think I mentioned that earlier. New technology means new laws, new education, new ways to make money. It affects society as a whole, academia, the legal aspect, health, health and safety, finance. So because it was so new, it's in court and it's going to be in court for a while. But I don't think anyone has won a case yet based on ownership, as far as generating the image. Now, more specific to your question, do you own it after you create it? The general consensus was yes. The general consensus was yes. If I create a text to image, that image is mine. Right? It doesn't belong to ChatGPT. That was a question early on. If I write something in ChatGPT or generate a blog or a script or something, does it belong to ChatGPT? Do we have to share that? No, it's yours. That was definitely one of the early questions about it. So the consensus is if you create it, it's yours. Right? Hopefully that answers your question. On the other end, what was created was brought to like copyright court too. So that was on the actual people whose data it was trained on. Internet, anything on the internet. That's that end of it. And the other end is if I create something, is it mine? But the consensus is yes. If you create something in AI, it's yours. I hope that answers your question, right? I'm going to run a commercial. The Discord link, please join our Discord, is at the top of the chat. Join our Discord, right? Come in, chit chat, share, learn, talk your shit, whatever, but join our Discord. I'll be right back after this commercial. The link for the Discord is at the top of the chat. We're at an hour, so perfect time for a commercial. I'll see you guys shortly. Again, join our Discord. The link is at the top of the chat. Right? My audio is back. Okay. One more thing, a new feature in ChatGPT. Let me go back to the comments so I can see you guys and gals, right? I hope I answered IAM's question about ownership. And just to do a quick review, the consensus is if you create something in these chats or these AIs, it is yours. It is yours. Unless you quote something, or you use someone else's information or like an image. I just took that image off the internet. Obviously, that image is not mine. I'm sorry. Right? But your creations in multimodal. What is multimodal? Modal, M-O-D-A-L, multimodal is text to image, text to audio, all the different ways the AI creates. The multiple ways, right? Any creations are yours. Copyrights are yours. Ownership is yours. Consensus right now for the most part. All right, another feature. This was just added to ChatGPT. So we have the internet, we have our toolbox, we have our attachment function. That's a lot right there, right? We have our custom GPTs. We know how to find them. Specified GPTs that help us, get to our final result faster, right? And more relative to what we're trying to do, custom GPTs. Again, this is the paid version, so I'm not sure if this is in the free version of ChatGPT, right? It's called a scheduler. My bad. That's audio over here. So you can have ChatGPT now. I guess like a Google alert or a text alert or calendar alert, reminder, notification. That's in ChatGPT now. So you can have it send you the latest news on sports every morning. You can have it remind you. I haven't used it yet, so I'm not going to do it in case I mess it up. But let's just try it. Remind me of the latest tech news every morning, right? Okay, so it created a task, a scheduled task. Every morning at 9 a.m., I should get a email because our email is our login, right? So that's its connection. It doesn't have my phone number or anything, just has my email. So it's going to send me a email every morning at 9 a.m. I didn't even tell it what time or blah blah blah. At 9 a.m. about the latest tech news. Can we edit this? So if we want to edit our schedule, we can edit the name. I can add more instructions. I can change the actual schedule, day, time, etc. So that's a new function in ChatGPT. I cannot think of all the use cases for this, but if you have any use cases while you're working in here, you could be working on a project and tell it, hey, remind me tomorrow while you're in the project that, to add this to it or research that or send it here. If I'm working on a spreadsheet, I can have it remind me to, update the spreadsheet, or after the spreadsheet is updated, send it to someone. So all of that is built in. That's a new function. I'm not sure, of all the different ways people could use it, but it's built in, and that all the different models and features are up here on this drop down arrow, right? Let me go back to the main window so you can see them. Let me see if that's saved. We'll see if that's saved over here. So that's saved over here. So if I wanted to change my tech news reminder, right, I could just come over here on the left. It's still there, and I can edit that. This has connection to the internet. See, when we look in our prompt area, we see what's available. I can't add an attachment, but I can use the internet, and I can't use any of our tools. Our text to image, which is DALL-E, right, or search the web, just two tools. So what's available will show up on the screen. If it's not there, can't use it. Our attachment function is grayed out. So that is one of the new features, right? The versions and the models are up here. And they give you a brief description of what they're best for. 4.0, great for most questions. Task scheduler. Ask ChatGPT to follow up later. Like a reminder or a task. Now, a task can be, I would try that one day to see if it will complete a task for me. Like generate 4 images tomorrow at 9 a.m. based on dogs and cats. I got dogs and cats, so maybe we can schedule it to do some work for us where we don't have to actually go in here and do it. Not that day, at a later date, right? 01, that version uses advanced reasoning. That's probably good for analysis, data, things like that. 01 mini, faster at reasoning. 4.0 mini, good for questions. And the original one, GPT-4, is a legacy model. So that's where our models are listed. For the most part, if I use one of these models to create something, say I use 01, when I go over here to go back to that prompt or that back and forth, it's going to be in a 01 model. It's not going to give me another model for something that I created in a different model, right? So that's something to keep in mind. If you create something or you're working in 4.0, that's where it's going to be. If you're in 01 mini, that's where it's going to be when you reopen that, right? If you come over here on the left and start looking at things you did prior that you want to continue to work on. Actually, you can see it. See, this one's 4.0. I just saw one that said mini. This one's mini. So it's going to stay in the model that you started with. So keep that in mind. So if a new model comes out, you'll be like, oh, I want to use a new model with my African American Studies analysis. It won't, because it was made in this model, so it's only going to stay here. You could copy and paste this in the newer model, but keep that in mind, right? So that's all the ChatGPT stuff. Let's go back to that. Quick review. New tools in our prompt area. Our prior conversations, because it's a conversation tool, over here on the left. Any custom GPTs we use over here on the left. How to find custom GPTs right here. Explore GPTs. If you want to create your own, this is where you would do it. I made a video. The ones you created are here. Everyone else's are here in the center, and it has a search window. So that should be good for ChatGPT. What else did I want to show people? Where's my list at? Gemini Studio. All right, let's get out of ChatGPT. I'm going to share a window. Gemini Studio. Gemini Studio is Google. Google is Gemini. Gemini is their AI or chat system, right? They have OpenAI has one. OpenAI is the parent company for ChatGPT. Google is the parent company, obviously, for Gemini. They have things that they call playgrounds or studios, where they put special features that are either in beta version, they're still under development, they don't have like really specified uses yet, and they're limited. But in AI, OpenAI's playground, that's why they call it playground, you can go back there and try some things out. Gemini Studio has some new features, right? This may be helpful for people who don't use ChatGPT. If you're a Google person, and it works, you know, I'm assuming, I haven't used it that much yet, but I'm assuming it works really good with Google products, right? Because it's their own studio. It's called Google AI Studio. Let me get the link so you can see it. So you can Google that, AI Studio, Google, it'll pop up. And in the back, this is what we're going to look at today. Over here on the left, it says Stream Realtime. This is an interactive chat, just like ChatGPT. I didn't use the voice function on ChatGPT. Instead of typing, I could have used the voice to talk to it, but because it was in another browser or window, actually, the audio wouldn't have played for you guys, so it was no use to do it. I'm going to try it on this one, right? We're going to try to let you hear it as we interact with it. So some of the features here are, you can share your screen. You can't do that in ChatGPT, right? You can share your screen on something that you're working on, that you don't understand, something that you want help with. You can literally share the screen and interact with the chat bot, right? First, let's change the voice. Over here on the right is the models. They only have one model. Just like ChatGPT had different models for different things, Gemini is the same, right? Oh, I can't see the chat. Let me put that back up there in case y'all got some questions. All right. So it only has one model to choose from over here on the right. And we'll get to all this other stuff in a minute. Audio output. I don't want it to text. I want it to talk to me, and I'm going to talk to it. The voice, I don't like Puck. That's a dude. He gets on my nerves. So I changed it to however you say that name. Aoede. Aoede. It's a female, by the way. We don't need any of this. No one's going to be doing any coding. Well, I'm not. If you want to try these out, you can. We're not doing any function calling or any of that. So there's our model. We get used to that word, models, different models, right? They have specific functions when they give you different models. This is just their basic model. Audio output, and there's our voice we're going to use. I'm going to try to, I'm going to pull up something hopefully difficult. So let's do protein. And I don't know anything about this, right? But it's just a demonstration. Protein molecule structure. We'll pull up something crazy like that, right? And we're going to share the screen. Let me know. Actually, let me turn my audio because I want to see if you can hear me interact, right, with the chatbot, right? I'm going to share the screen.
Okay, I'm ready. Let me know when you are sharing the screen.
See if y'all could.
All right, I can see your screen now. It looks like you're on a Google search page. You have the search term protein molecule structure entered.
All right. I have an audience. Can you say hi to the audience before you get started?
Hello, audience. It's nice to be here. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to focus on related to the protein molecule information on the screen.
Okay. First of all, I'm actually talking to my audience, so just hold on, and I'll get back to you in a second. So this is in back and forth without typing, and we're interacting with a screen share. So if I have something on my screen, I can share that screen, and we're going to interact with Aode. How do I say your name? Aode.
Okay, I understand. You want to interact with the screen and with me, which you are calling AOL.
No,
I'm ready.
no. Your voice. What is your name? How do I say your name?
I do not have a name. I
Okay.
am a large language model,
Okay.
not a
Okay.
person.
Okay. Relax. Chill out. And because these models are conversational, y'all, let's just keep that in mind. So you don't have to listen to every word. You can stop the audio playback. Okay. What do I have on the screen here?
Understood. You want me to relax and just go with the flow as we interact
Yeah. What do I
conversationally.
have on the screen?
On your screen right now, you have a Google search page with the search query protein molecule structure. There's a highlighted paragraph that explains how protein molecules are made from a
Okay.
long chain.
On the right side, what is that? With all of them little letters, H, C's, what is that on the right?
On the right side of the screen, you're seeing a diagram of different amino acids. These are the building blocks of proteins, and the diagram shows the chemical structure of each amino acid, with the letters H, C, N, and O representing different atoms.
Are you connected to the internet?
No, I am not connected to the internet.
All right. What grades would a chart like that be found in schools? That high school, college, elementary?
Charts of amino acid structures like the one on your screen are typically found in high school and college biology and chemistry textbooks. They wouldn't usually be seen in elementary level education.
Okay. I need you to write a paragraph that kind of explains that chart on the right, but I need it simplified for maybe someone in junior high school, if you could.
Okay, I can do that. Here's a simplified paragraph explaining the chart of amino acids. The chart on the right shows the basic building blocks of
I need
proteins
the
called amino.
text. I need the text. Okay. Thank you. You don't do image generation, do you?
No, I do not have the ability to generate images. I am a text-based model.
All right. What are some of the best ways to interact with you as a text-based model?
Some good ways to interact with me are by asking questions, requesting summaries, or asking me to explain a topic or concept. I can also help with writing tasks, like creating paragraphs and outlines.
How about the screen share function? What are some of the best ways to use your screen share function?
You can use screen sharing to show me documents, images, and videos to have a more interactive discussion. Sharing your screen also lets me see exactly what you're looking at, and I can offer more specific feedback or answers based on what I see.
And you are not connected to the web. That is correct, right?
That is correct. I am not connected to the web.
All right. I appreciate that. This was just a demonstration for our audience. So, guys, down here to stop the stream, you hit the X at the bottom of the screen. This does not store your, we'll call them conversations or your interactions. It does not store it. So once I change this model or refresh it to start a new chat, unlike ChatGPT over here on the left, it's not going to store any previous interaction that we had. That's, up in the air if you still want to have your personal information in here because it is going to be accessed by the system and their servers at some point. I'm not telling people to or not to put their personal information, but again, something like this is helpful if you have a window open or you're doing something online that you're having trouble with. You know what? Let's do this one. Watch this. This is cool. All right. So we're going to share our screen. Hi, can you tell me what's on the screen?
Sure, I can do that. The screen shows a video editing interface. There is a preview of the video playing on the right and a side.
What I have on the screen is a horizontal image. I want an image. How do I turn that image into a image more suitable for a computer, not a phone?
Okay, you want to change the horizontal video into a vertical video that fits better on a computer. There should be an option to change the video's aspect ratio in your editor. Do you see a button like that in the tools?
No, look at the screen and tell me where the ratio button is at so I can change the ratio.
Okay, I see that at the top of the preview screen, there is a ratio listed as 9:16. If you click on that, you should be able to change the video's ratio.
There it is. Hold on. I see it. Let me change the ratio. Let me see if it works.
I see it looks like you've changed the aspect ratio of the video.
Okay, that worked. Now, what is all that information at the bottom of the screen? I don't know what all that is down there. What is that?
Sure, that is the video's timeline. The different blocks represent different edits to the video and where they appear in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can you give me some more information on that? So what are the orange blocks down there, if you can see it?
The orange blocks represent the audio clips in your video. The white blocks appear to be either video edits or graphic additions. Does that help?
Yes. Okay, if I wanted to add effects to this, how would I add effects to this?
You want to add? Okay, to add effects, look for the Effects button on the left side panel, which is near the middle. Clicking on that will show you some options for.
Hold on, you're going too fast. You got to slow down. Okay, I see it. Is that under the transcript button?
No, the Effects button is just below the transcript button.
I said that.
It is.
I said under. Under and below mean the same thing, right?
Got it. You are right. The Effects button is right below the transcript button. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Yeah. Do you know what editing program that is?
The name of the program is displayed in the top left of the screen. It's called Trimedia. Is there anything else?
No, that's not the name of the editing program. That's the name of the space. Do you know the name of this editing program?
You're right. My apologies. The name of the editing program is not displayed on the screen. Do you want me to look for it in any other place on the screen?
I want you to guess.
Okay, based on the interface and layout, I'm going to guess that the editing software is called CapCut. Is that correct?
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
I am glad I could help. Is there anything else you need help with?
Nah, we good. Thank you. I'm out. All right. So, that's hilarious, by the way. All right, let's get back to teaching. Enough fun here, people, right? Enough fun. So, that is Google AI Studio. And that function in AI Studio over here on the left is called Stream Realtime. You can share your screen. You can actually use your web camera and point it at something and say, "Hey, what is this?" or "Help me with this." I don't know what type of uses you would have for that, right? And then you have your regular voice interaction. So you can interact with it just using your microphone and get an audio response. And that's set up again over here on the right. Or you could get text responses. But I just thought that was interesting for people. So down here in the prompt window, you don't see where you can add a PDF or anything like that, right? You would share a screen. So if I had a spreadsheet open, I could share the screen, right? You don't have a lot of the functionality. Now, this is not the regular Google Gemini chatbot. This is in their AI studio. Remember, this is something that they like beta versions where they work on stuff, before they roll it out to the masses. So you're not going to have all the functionality you would just yet. So they just try out like a lot of the new features. So share your screen. So whatever you're working on, if you need help with that was CapCut before. That's a image generator, video editing software. So if you were working in some software and there were some features you didn't understand, you can share your screen in here and ask for help. And this is the worst that this will get. Like most of the AI, any shortcomings of it is the worst it's going to be. It's only going to get better, right? Again, depending on how you feel about, technology and AI, that may be a good thing, maybe not so good, but it can't hurt to be aware of it and how it can be helpful, right? So we went over, check my notes. I'm hour 20 minutes, right? Yeah, so we went over the new GPT or some not so new, some overlooked features in ChatGPT. We looked at AI Studio, Google's AI Studio. And to me, I think the most important part in that one is the share screen function. So in real time, the computer can see what you see. Um, I don't know how new it is. I just found it. So, but I'm sure it's going to get better, especially when they start adding new models over here on the right. This says experimental. My bad. I didn't read that before. This is the experimental model. So as they add more models or refine these models, these interactions should get better. I can see this being connected to the internet one day. So you'll be able to get live, real time, information off of the internet. But this share your screen function, to me, is what stands out the most. So keep that in mind. This is free, by the way. There are no versions, like no paid versions of this, I don't believe. Uh, I think Gemini might have some paid versions, the regular Gemini chatbot. Um, they may have paid versions, but this is free. And anything else in the back, um, you can look at these things. Some of this stuff is probably not for like, my bad, regular use. Did I turn my screen off? I did. Let me get my screen back. Go back. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Oh, there we go. Right? Like API keys. We'll go over that one day too, how that is helpful. And I'll show you how that works with some of the automations that I use, right? Automated tasks. Um, create prompt. Let's look at that. And you have some of the regular chatbot functions back here too. Temperature. That's another word we keep in mind. Different chatbots have, I don't know if they all do. OpenAI, that's ChatGPT, they have temperature settings. A temperature setting basically determines how much of a realistic answer you get as opposed to a creative answer you get. When you're being creative, obviously, like writing something or you want an image, you want more creativity, so you adjust the temperature. If you're doing data analysis, you want specific information. You don't want no creativity. You don't want none of that shit. You want specific analytical information. You would change the temperature. And I believe the closer you get to, let's see, they don't have a definition in here. But is it the closer you get to one? I don't remember. We'll go over that one day, or you can look that up. Actually, I'll look it up right now, just to help out. Temperature settings. Just so we understand. Temperature settings. I don't remember. Is it closer to one? It's more creative, or closer to 0. So let's do this check, just so we know. We might as well learn in real time, right? Okay. So the closer to 0, you get more analytical answers. So let's go back to our window. In any chatbot, if there's a temperature setting, the closer you get to 0, the less creative. It's going to give you flat out analytical answers. The closer you get to 1 and over, the more creative it's going to be, and that's good for writing, music, images, things like that. So that's what temperature means. See, we learned something today, right? We learned what the temperature setting is in our chat GPTs. If you ever look under the hood of some of these things, right? But again, let's see what the starter apps one is. Map Explorer Video Analyzer, an interactive video player that lets you summarize, describe scenes, extract text, search for objects, and more. That's telling me if you're watching a video and you want to analyze, you can use this. We're not going to do all that today. Spatial understanding. Upload a photo and combine 2D or 3D spatial analysis. That may be useful for some people. Tune a model. We're not going to do that. Prompt ideas. If you're having trouble prompting something, querying the question you ask, how you interact with the chat system, right? They have obviously pre-done prompts that can help you out. Trip ideas, code optimizer, recipe genies, chart decoder, blog writer, research buddy. So it can even help you prompt it, like it help you help it, right? But the one I thought was interesting, again, was stream real time, share your screen, interact with the chatbot. And that is all I have today. If anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. Oh, hold on. I am still in here. Let me get back to my main screen. So I assume everything you type, talk, and screen share will go into the AI's data training tool. I don't think so, because this was, I think, something people had difficulty understanding last year, right? It started with people finding out, reading the white papers on these LLMs, large language models, or reading articles or seeing a news report saying that information only goes up to, I'll give you an example. Say you ask it, what is your range of information? How recent is your information? You would look it up on the white paper or on the website, not necessarily in the chatbot, right? It would say this data is only up to September of 2024. So people will go, oh, it's not up, it's not new. It's not. It wasn't connected to the internet. It was only based on the information it was trained on. It's a static set of information up to, if it says September 2024, that's it. It doesn't add to that. That's the difference between Google and these language models. They train it on a specified group of data from this time to this time. Whatever's in there is in there. The work that it's doing is having that information interact with you in a conversational manner, not like a Google search. And they couldn't do that if it was constantly adding new information. So they gather the information, they compile it, they set up their proprietary systems that, allows you to interact with that information, and then gives you an answer or returns the response in a conversational manner. So if that makes sense, they couldn't do both, add information and train it. So the information you add to it, I don't think it goes into its training data. Like each new model has a newer training date. So if they make a new model, that's trained to more recent information. Because the goal was not to give you the most up-to-date information. It was to have you interact with the information it already has compiled in a what? Conversational manner, right? I think people confuse it with Google. Google gives you the most relevant links to your search or image or book or, the list across the top of Google. That's what it's set up to do. Scrape the internet right now. Like when you put something in Google, it scrapes the internet and looks for the most recent or the most suitable recent images and or not for your question. But it scrapes the internet in real time. Like right now, if I type something in Google, it's going to scrape the internet and give me that information. These chatbots, these large language models don't do that. What's in them is what's in them. That's why they got to keep making new models, like a new bucket of water. New bucket of water. That's why they have to keep adding new models because it's a new set of information, more up to date information. So, yeah. So if you did some, but either way, your personal information, right, on any website is be careful. Private information on anything. In the future, it may be used. Now, I'm sure they use it for some sort of analytics. They say they don't store your, I'm sure it's bullshit. So always keep that in mind. Privacy and security. Privacy, security. As best as you can, right? Information security, your personal information. But no. But that's the difference between a search engine and a large language model or a chatbot. So that was an issue for a lot of people. How come it doesn't have the most up to date data? Right now, it connects to the internet, so it will. But when they first came out, they didn't because the goal was not to search the internet. The goal was for it to interact with you in a conversational manner, which is crazy, right? People like that's second nature now. You talk to your phone, tell it to do shit. But that wasn't always the case. But now, that's the goal of these. That's why they're called large language models. They deal in language, conversational language. So I hope we learned something today. Now here come 6 people. What up, everybody? How far are we in? If anybody has any more questions about ChatGPT, large language models, AI, put them in the chat, or you can add a comment later on. But it's good to be aware. Whether we use it or not, corporations are using it, right? Our government uses it. Colleges, universities, high schools are going to be using it if they're not already. Scientists are going to use it. Medical, healthcare, they're going to use it. Any technology is going to use it. So whether we like it or not, whether we use it or not, it is being used. But any interaction you have with it, be mindful of your personal information. Use synthetic information if possible. If you have a scenario, I have to fill out my mom's medical paperwork a lot of time. I have to deal with her pension people, to deal with her long-term care facility, Social Security. So I can mark out her personal information, screenshot it, put it in the system, use generic information like change your name, date of birth, things of that, her illnesses, and work through some of that without me racking my brain. My mom has early onset dementia, so I can't ask her a lot of this stuff. So I have to put it in my brain in my context, but also context Social Security understands, or her long-term care doctor understands, or things like that. So extremely, our kids, if they're having trouble with schoolwork, you don't want to give them the answer. These tools can help explain things, give them little exercises they can do that you can't think of. They can help you out. And we looked at the scheduler, right, in ChatGPT. You can schedule it to do something every day, create an exercise for my son on algebra with 10 questions based on blah blah blah, and he's having, because he's having trouble with algebra. You can have it set up where they don't get the answers right away. Um, all type of different ways we can use it. So, how has the technology been most useful for me? One way, like I said, with my mom, when we found out she had dementia, we had to transfer a lot of different things: power of attorney, her finances. I had to write letters to her landlord, uh, her doctors, trying to get her into different facilities, how to request different nursing help. You have to fill out these 5, 10 page forms sometimes. It's insane. So I could take a picture of it with my phone, upload it in here, and just some of the general information about a person with dementia or a person that's leaving their apartment to help me write a nice, a letter to her people that she may have to break her lease. Things like that. Things that a person that when you get hit with something and you can't think of everything, uh, just in that area, it helped a lot. Social Security, dealing with her Social Security people. The government, everything's forms, 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 forms. You sit there and read through all of that if you want, and try to write. I feel sorry for, people back in the day. You get these forms, you're like, oh my God. So it helped me with transitioning her a lot of the paperwork without using her personal information, right? School. I go to school for information security, cybersecurity. It helps me with that. Helps me generate lesson plans and study guides for myself. Areas I'm having issues with. I can generate a study guide on a topic. I can upload a PDF of a chapter I'm studying and have that not summarized, but put it in a workable manner that's easier for me to understand. My family and friends, any issues they have that require documentation or them to respond to something. In a lot of fields, when you have to respond to a notice, how you respond and the clarity of your response and the effectiveness of your response determines how you get dealt with. Bullshit response, you get bullshit back. I had people get letters they don't understand. Cross out your name, put a piece of tape over it, take a picture, send it to me, or upload it and have it, broken down for you. But if people want to resign from their job, a simple resignation letter under your specific circumstances is helpful. Not just I resigned in 2 weeks and I had a great time working here, blah, 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 blah. Because how you leave a place says a lot about you, and may benefit you going forward. So it helps with specific scenarios for me that I may need to put in a general format. Like I got injured last year. Workers' compensation forms. Lawyers, any type of documentation, super helpful. So, trying to think how else. Mainly, I'm learning new things. Like I'm like a fidget. So as I learn something, I use it. I see something new. I'm like, you show me a shiny object, I'm over there. Like I see the new. So that's me. That's me. So it's hard for me to get maximum use out of a lot of this stuff because I'll see something new, I'm on that. I'll see something new, I'm on that. But that's just me. But if I can help people find some of these technologies that work for them or put them in a way that they can understand it, that's good. That's just me. Everybody's not, interested in all that. People want to use something that works. So, and these work for most scenarios and cases, using them in a general manner. No one has to be as nerdy or as geeky with this shit as I am. So I have a hard time not nerding out and showing all the stuff I just found like last week. and at the same time showing people how to use what's already available. So I think that's it. Quick recap. Let me share my window. Um, let's go back to ChatGPT. Quick recap. It's always good to have a recap. And that's a good question. You know, most people don't ask me how I would use something, right? Oh, that's the wrong screen. I would tell people I don't anymore because I just don't. I would tell people what I would ask me is one, do you use it? Two, do you make money doing it? One, I would say, hell yeah, I use it. Two, I would say it's none of your business if I make money doing it, right? But that's definitely a good question. Let me go back to my window. Where we at? Chat. And we'll just go over some real quick stuff and then I will close out. Let me go here, new chat. So what did we learn today about ChatGPT? It's new or not so used or even looked over functions. Remember, what model you're on matters because look, if I go to O1, I just saw that the internet is not available. Somebody may say, hey, I tried the internet, man, it's not working. It's not working. Use the most basic model, 4.0. All of your tools are available in our prompt area. Our attachment, any type of file, PDF, image, spreadsheet, Word document, blah, blah, blah. Our toolbox, text to picture, more analytical reasoning. Canvas gives us a broader workspace and an interactive workspace, Canvas, and our internet, right? Our custom GPTs are on the left after we use them. How do we find them? Explore. Here's our search box. Our prior conversations are on the left if we need to go back and edit some of these or get information. I have a presentation on the N word, right? If I want to add to this, it's there on the left in my history, right? And I can add to this. What else did we have? Our scheduler, not 4.0. We can schedule tasks now in ChatGPT for whatever, is beneficial to you to have a scheduled task. It should send that information to your email because most people log into their ChatGPT through their email. So it may send you a prompt, like I asked it to send me tech news reminder every morning at 9 a.m. Tomorrow, I should have set it for like 7:02, like a minute from now. But we'll see how that turns out. It should send me an email with the latest tech news. And that is our scheduler. And we looked at our Gemini. I'm sorry, let me get back to that. Okay, there it is. It did show up. It's just light screen, dark screen. It's the same as the other one. Screen share. You can share your screen and interact with the chatbot with whatever you're working on your screen. And that is Google AI Studio. If you Google it, it'll give you the link. It'll bring you right here. And what we're using here is the stream real time on the left where you can interact and share your screen. All right. And that's it. I hope everybody learned something. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or the comments. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Our sister I Am over at On the Spot. My brother Donnie. LL. My brothers Brass, DQ, Logic. Our people over at Carnivorous. And that's it. So this was like an overview of two chatbots, right? Gemini and ChatGPT. Hopefully that helps people find more use of them. Better use than just trying to win an argument or summarizing articles. They're way more useful than that. So if you can think of anything, put the ideas in the chat. All right. So with that, I am out of here. Thank you all for coming. like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification icon, right? So you're notified whenever we go live. Check out our previous shows on our channel, right? And I'll see you soon. You guys have a good evening. Our Discord link is in the top of the chat. Join our Discord. The link is in the top of the chat. Please come through and hang out with us. Peace.
Gotta hit it like tap it in the zone. Share it with the world, make the vibe known. Subscribe to the beat, feel it in your phone. Catch the waves we throw, you ain't alone. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep the rhythm alive, we thrive. Hop on this digital ride. Let's multiply the vibe worldwide.
Trimedia Records.
This is my story. Get the story.
On your ID, you see me calling, nigga. Out of this league, a workaholic, nigga. Nickname, Big Game, big thing. Handle his business, he never switched lanes. Had some brain surgeries in high school. Still came out that bitch a top dude. Moved to the city of the Mavericks. Came out this bitch drunk and classy.